Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here today, my name is Odds, and today we're going to be discussing the finale of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm going to give you my breakdown and then give you my thoughts on the whole series, as well as thoughts about what comes next other than the original trilogy, because we know that obviously comes next. But if you're new here today, I would love for you to subscribe. I do 2 videos a week. Star Wars, Marvel, DC, beauty, vlogs. There's something on this channel for everyone, so be sure to stay tuned for that. And if you like this video while you're watching, make sure to give it a big old thumbs up, and let's go ahead and get started with the breakdown. The beginning of the episode takes place on Tatooine. Reva shows up looking for Owen and looking for young Luke Skywalker. She's seemingly going to kill him because she finds out that he is the son of Anakin Skywalker. The ship that they're escaping on is under attack by Vader's Star Destroyer, so Obi-Wan decides to get out in an escape pod and steer them away so that Vader goes after Obi-Wan versus after the whole ship, which is not to the liking of the Grand Inquisitor, who is still alive, we found out in the last episode, which makes sense since he's alive in Rebels. Beru arms her and Owen to prevent an attack from Reva, or to try to fight back more so. When Obi-Wan lands, he realizes that Leia has given him her droid Lola to keep him comforted, because he mentions earlier that he is scared as well as the other children that are on that vessel, so she gives that to him to kind of bring him comfort. We get the showdown between Vader and Obi-Wan in this episode as we were promised, and Obi-Wan says, "I will do what I must." He also says some other callback lines as well. But he says, "I will do what I must" in this before the fight. Overall, a really good fight. There is a lot that happens in it, including when Vader buries Obi-Wan alive, and you think this is going to be, if you didn't know that Obi-Wan was in the original trilogy, you would be like, well, this is the end of Obi-Wan here, but it is not. He gets himself out of it and then ends up going back to continue the fight against Vader. While this is happening, it cuts between this and Reva and Luke. So Reva chases Luke through the desert, and then Obi-Wan gets some landing blows on Darth Vader that should have killed him, but he ends up being healed and it's all fine. We know that he's still alive. But he ends up breaking his breathing apparatus as well as his part of his mask, so he can see Anakin behind the mask, and it's a very emotional moment for Obi-Wan because he finds out that his friend is truly gone and believes that there is no good left in him, despite what Padme had said in the prequels. Reva does not go through with killing Luke. Obviously, we know he's still alive, but she doesn't even try to injure him. She does it to try to get revenge for what happened to the other younglings, because that's just where her mind is at, but she doesn't have the ability to do so. She has too much mercy, and we're going to see a better side of Reva in the future. So everything's all good. Obi-Wan goes to visit Alderaan once Leia is back and returns Lola to Leia, and then tells her a bit about Padme and Anakin, about the traits that Leia possesses come from both of her parents. And he says, "I'm sorry I can't tell you more," but then she looks back at the Organas and is like, "No, it's fine. Like, I have my own parents and I'm happy here." We then go back to Tatooine, and Obi-Wan is packing all his stuff and moving out to where his home is in the original trilogy, and he goes to see the Lars family one last time, and Owen offers to let Obi-Wan meet Luke, because he's never actually met him at this age before, He's only was there to give him away as a baby. So he goes up to young Luke and says, "Hello there," which I'm sure Ewan McGregor was really happy about because he gets asked to say that literally all the time. But nice little callback there. And then as he's leaving to go to where he resides in the original trilogy, Qui-Gon shows up. So yes, he does actually show up in this. Liam Neeson came back to do this. Or they recreated him. I'm assuming Liam Neeson came back to do this. I didn't see like anything. I didn't pay attention to the credits to see if they just copied and pasted him. But I assume he came back to do this, so that was really exciting. He finally showed up. I was waiting the entire episode for him to show up because I was pretty sure he was going to be in there. And then we go back to, or it might have been before this, but Vader in his castle, and the Emperor is like, "You need to move on, stop dealing with the past," and Vader's like, "You got it, boss." So that was the episode. Overall, pretty good finale. I feel like the Star Wars shows land the finales a lot better than the Marvel shows. The Marvel shows can't really do it successfully. I think this was fine being just 6 episodes, which I'm usually, again, against that for the Marvel series. I find that they're just so condensed, whereas this one felt like a decent runtime for the series. Overall, I really enjoyed this series. I don't think it's any better than The Mandalorian, though. I think The Mandalorian is the most solid of the Star Wars shows. It is the second... This is only the second live-action show that we've had so far, so I can't speak to how the rest of them are going to be. But comparing it just to The Mandalorian, I think The Mandalorian is a better series than this was. This was very much tied into the movies, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but it is something to keep in mind as you now have more Skywalker Saga, which I know a lot of people aren't going to love. They want to break away and do something different, which I definitely can agree with to a certain level. I really enjoyed little Leia. I thought that she was amazing in this. I think she's going to blow up and do great things in the future. She's definitely a really good child actress. We didn't see a lot of young Luke. I kind of wish we saw more of him. I thought initially this series was going to focus on Luke and the Lars family a little bit more, versus then they kind of switched it up on us and focused on Leia versus focusing on Luke, which there's nothing wrong with that because the original series clearly focuses on Luke the most because it is his trilogy overall versus focusing on Leia. So it was nice to spend some time with her, and she was just so spunky and overall really, really great. I would have liked to see more Hayden Christensen. I would have liked to see maybe a Clone Wars flashback. I know as a big Clone Wars fan, it's hard to not want flashbacks of that, but we didn't really get anything. We got a flashback of them dueling as sort of a training exercise, but we didn't get very many flashbacks, so I would have liked to see a little bit more flashbacks than what we got, but it is what it is. They were focusing on the present more so than flashbacks of the prequel era. So my biggest question, and the only one I really have for this episode, is what's next for Reva. So it was announced that she is getting a spinoff, which is kind of amazing because of the vehement hate that she's getting online. But I really enjoyed her character, and I'm excited to see what is happening next for her. I think she's going to go on and create her own little path. Maybe she could end up working with the Rebellion. That would be really cool. Or she can just go do her own like mercenary missions like the Bad Batch does currently. So that would be really cool. future of Star Wars, I'm not doing Andor breakdowns on this channel for that's the next series that's coming out, because I'm doing breakdowns for She-Hulk, so it's probably going to be a little bit of time before we see more Star Wars content on my channel. Most likely, you will definitely see episodes of The Mandalorian on here. I will not be doing them for the Bad Batch either, but I will try to do like Star Wars news and different videos about Star Wars. I'm just not doing breakdowns. I will have an overall recap of Andor, so that will definitely be coming at the very end of the series, because again, I'm doing She-Hulk breakdowns, so I won't be able to do them at the same time. I'm really annoyed that Marvel and Star Wars are overlapping their schedules. It is very hard to do when you are a content creator or YouTuber, whatever you want to call, I want to call myself. I mean, I don't have that many subscribers, but I do make videos 2 to 3 times a week, so that is just that. But let me know what you thought of the series down below and what your thoughts are on this video. I appreciate any and all feedback as long as it's constructive. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on Friday with my boys' episode 5 Hero Gasm video. Bye!